Hello, Taurus. Great to have you here. My name is Shona. Today's reading is a general love forecast for November 2025. As always, take the messages that resonate and release anything that doesn't. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay connected with upcoming readings. Let's see what's headed your way, Taurus. For you to realize that whenever you hit a major roadblock in your life, okay, and this isn't just one, this is a series of roadblocks, like you're walking along a path, or you have already decided on a path, and when it's one or two that are minor and you feel like you can overcome them, that's fine, you're on the right track. But when it feels like over and over and over again, you keep hitting these roadblocks, it means you're off track. It means that's not the right path for you to go down, okay? Another thing I'm sensing as well is, and this is not going to apply for everybody, for those of you who are pining for a new start in your life, I just want you to know that one thing cannot start until another thing is brought to a complete end, okay? So I feel like you're veering off in two directions and you're telling yourself, like, why can't it go the way that I plan? And I do feel that it's because one thing cannot start until the other thing has been brought to a complete end. So that's something I just want you to know. It is the law of, conservation of energy. Okay, you can't divert too much of your energy. You have a finite amount of energy and you can't divert it into different things and have them happen concurrently. It just doesn't work that way. One thing needs to end in order for the other to flourish. Otherwise, you are siphoning off, or your energy is being dissipated as you divide up your energy and not concentrating it into one place and allowing that to thrive. So that's just the way I'm sensing, when I was shuffling the cards for you. Let's see what is in store for you here. So the first card I have out here is the Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords is in the reverse position. And it usually indicates, cheating, lying, some type of indiscretion, some type of actions that was not very honorable has been basically revealed. When it's in the reverse position, it means it came to light, and it's coming either from you or from another person. But I definitely feel some major revelation has recently happened, okay? What's crossing it here is the Moon card, and the Moon deals with confusion. It deals with a place where we don't really have all the information, and it also deals with a situation where, yes, it happened, there were still a lot of unanswered questions. So you're trying to sift through this, and you're trying to find a way to do this, okay? I'm going to pull out more cards, mainly because I want to know which direction it's headed in before I can, give more information on this situation for you. One of the things that I do feel is that for a lot of you, you're at a major junction right now. And whatever you do, I feel as if you can't really backtrack anymore, okay? So it's like you hit a fork in the road, and you can take one route or the other. But what you decide to do, it's going to mean that you can't go back, and you can't backtrack and take the other route if things don't work out. So it is really important for you to end one thing and start another. Otherwise, you are going to be pretty much getting yourself into, sticky situations, or even not progressing anywhere. So try to think about where you want to divert all of your energy and go ahead with it. Okay, so that would be the important thing moving forward into the future. So let's talk about this situation. What I'm getting here in the recent past, this is the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups is usually opportunities that are coming through for us. And when it's the Four of Cups, it's one of those things where we don't feel as if the opportunities are completely to our advantage, and we don't feel as if they meet all their requirements that will make us happy. So as a result, we kind of just sit there and wait and not make a move on any of these options, okay? For a lot of you, it can be in the work sense. I do feel for a lot of you, it might be in a work situation, or for a lot of you who have recently started dating, it could just be partnerships, okay? It could just be like romantic partners or people that are showing interest, but you're not really ready yet you don't feel like they meet your requirements, or you don't feel as if this is basically not going for it, and you have assumptions that it's not going to work out. So I do feel for a lot of you, you are socially dating. You're socially dating a lot of people potentially, or you're in a situation where you're ready to date and you're getting out there, but you're realizing that, you're not feeling at your best and not feeling as completely comfortable in your own skin just yet. So what's bringing you here is the Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords, this is residual energy. I do feel for a lot of you, you've been hurt. I do sense that for a lot of you, you've been, either dealing with somebody who was not upfront with you, and I feel that the actions, yes, it hurts, but more than anything, it's hurting your self-esteem. It's hurting your self-esteem, or it has hurt your self-esteem. And you're still recoiling from this, and you're still trying to move past it. And one of the reasons that's making it very difficult for you to move on is because I feel like if you have been cheated on, for example, or if someone in your environment has lied to you and they have gotten caught, I feel like there were still a lot of unanswered questions. So, it might be one final act that exposed them for who they are. But I do feel that along with it, it made you, think back at all the things they've said to you. And you're thinking to yourself, was it all a lie? What is innately wrong with me where they couldn't be honest with me, and things like that. So it is hurting your self-esteem a little bit, and it is hurting your ability to as well trust in other people and to move past it. So I feel like a lot of you are hitting this major, major brick wall where you want answers and you want some type of full disclosure as to what exactly happened, and how can I move past this. And I'm going to say that it's not satisfying, but the outcome is very good. The outcome looks very, very good to me. So let's talk through this situation first. What's crowning this reading is the Magician. And when it's in the reverse position, you were dealing with someone who was very, very manipulative. Okay? This is somebody who is potentially the bachelor or the bachelorette, and they had no intention of settling down. They had no intention of building a life or a future with another person. In the reverse position, this is somebody who is very charismatic. They are very smart, very charismatic, intelligent, eloquent, persuasive as well. And they put on, quite a show. And when it's in the reverse position, I do feel that for a lot of you, this is the energy of another person that is coming into the mix, where they're the ones that might have deceived you, okay? And you're kind of, what I feel happened was that I feel almost as if, you trusted that person a great deal. This news came to light, and now you don't even know what you trust anymore. You don't even know if you can rely on your own instincts anymore. So it is hurting your self-esteem, I feel like, in a very deep-rooted way. Everything you thought you believed in, I feel like, has been taken out from under you. And it's not as severe as the Tower, because I feel like this is something that has happened, and now you're just recoiling from it, or at least recovering from it. The foundation here is the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords, usually in this deck, it indicates a situation where when it's in the reversed position, it means that you really need to take some time off in order to rest, recuperate, okay? And it's really important for you to process everything that has happened. You don't have the answers that you need now, but the answers are actually found from within. At the same time, I know it's not a satisfying answer to give you, that tidbit of information. But what I do feel is that a lot of the times when someone has cheated or lied to us, we want to know, the ins and out of that entire story. We want to know how, when, with whom, what exactly happened, how many times. We have all these answers that we need. We have all these questions that we need answers to. And the point is, it doesn't really matter. If someone is doing that to you, just let it go. because all the answers that they give you is not going to change anything. You will get the answers that you need, but it's not going to come in the time frame that you hope for. And a lot of the times people, they want answers to these things, especially after, finding out about some type of indiscretion or infidelity or some type of betrayal. They want these answers to validate the fact that, oh, it only happened once and I still love you, or she didn't mean anything to me, or, I was lonely and you were neglecting me, something. You want something concrete, and you want some answers that would make sense to you. But the point here is that the person did it. All the answers won't change the fact that they didn't consider your feelings when it happened. Okay? So that's the takeaway message here. All the answers in the world cannot repair a situation. And even though we all want answers so that we can properly move on, the pain comes from, internal to us. So it is really important to sit with ourselves and try to mend that first in order for us to move on. And then when we finally get the answers, that's when it's going to be a little bit more meaningful. Because getting the answers now, it won't change anything. It won't change the fact that it happened, okay? So I'm very sorry for this. Are always about, a lot of disappointment, because people hype up Valentine's Day, and then when it doesn't go the way they want, things just become, like a quagmire, and it's hard to dig ourselves out of it. Now, in terms of what's coming in for you, is we have the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords is an air sign. So this is Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. This is potentially somebody that you're dealing with. For those of you in, romantic relationships, this is the energy of a person who is, I feel like, a little bit jaded and bitter, and who's not very... She or he is not ready to reveal their feelings, okay? This is also a card about holding back the truth. So this is withholding information, lying by omission, potentially manipulating a situation, manipulating stories in order to get the outcome that we want. So you are potentially dealing with somebody like this. And I do feel, because it's coming in, whatever they're telling you is going to be a bed of lies, okay? So you're looking for answers, you're confused, and you're getting conflicting messages. So you can't, it's really difficult for you to know who to trust at this point. In terms of this is the advice here, and the advice here is the Nine of Swords. When it's in the reversed position, when it's upright, it deals with, mental anguish. It deals with not being able to sleep at night, mainly because a lot of fears, a lot of anxiety, a lot of sadness and grief is plaguing you. When it's in the reverse, you're overcoming this situation. And I feel that for a lot of you, this is something that, it's not the Tower, so I don't feel that it happened this month. But this is something that you've been dealing with for quite some time. And in your external environment, you do have a lot of love and support coming in from a water sign, okay? So the water sign is Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. A lot of you, there is love, there is support, there is understanding, and there is also that sense of camaraderie coming through. For those of you who are thinking about, whether or not to date somebody this month, go with the water sign. It looks very, very favorable. You might have both options on the table, and I do feel there is more compatibility between, Taurus and a water sign rather than a Taurus and an air sign. And that can change depending on the person that you're dealing with. But I definitely feel a very warm, loving, caring, and stable energy with this water sign in your midst, okay? In terms of your hopes and fears, we do have the Hermit, and this is a fear about being alone. This is spelling that very clearly. So a lot of the times, the things that we fear are the things that we need to confront, okay? And I do sense that you might want to be careful about this energy. If you are afraid of being alone, that is something that you need to do. Retreat within yourself in order to find the answers that you need, in order to mourn the end of one relationship before you start another. A lot of you, this is also a card about investigation. This is like doing some digging digging up somebody, digging up information on somebody, finding out, deeply buried information about somebody. So this is a card about investigation. And a lot of you are kind of thinking about this direction, okay? And I'm going to say this, for those of you who are juggling two people, if you are the one juggling two people, just be very, very careful that confrontation and things don't break out, because I feel like one person is doing the digging and they are already getting wind of the fact that you might be juggling. So if you are doing that, Taurus, I do feel that you're not going to face confrontation this month, but I feel like next month is not looking great. Okay, so if you're doing that, stop or at least cover your tracks, because I feel like someone is looking into this situation. I feel like surveillance. I feel some type of invasive, questioning is in store. Okay. And I feel like someone is being very discreet. Someone is being very discreet. So if you are, juggling two people, I feel like one of your partners might know, and they're being discreet about not confronting you just yet until they gather information. If you are seeing somebody and you're suspecting that they're doing that, I feel like you already know they're doing that, and you might be digging. And be careful what you wish for, because a lot of the times people say that if only I had the answers, and then they end up catching their mate in the act, and they become very traumatized and scarred as a result. So just know that if you feel it, if you have suspicions, it's probably valid. Okay. And if you're looking for answers, if you have to have answers as proof, then it's not going to be the proof that you want. And it's also, I feel as if a lot of the times you have to ask yourself, where are these suspicions coming from? Are they even founded? If they are, you're probably with the wrong person to begin with. So there's no point in trying to rationalize staying with the wrong person if you already feel that way. So you're digging for answers, looking for confirmation, looking for something concrete to go off of, but it's a very dangerous slope, and it's not a good thing for you to do, to dig into personal information, because all the trust issues that will be carried into your next relationship, and you're going to do the same thing. So just be very careful about where you're heading with this information. Okay. What I'm getting as well in the outcome position, we do have the King of Coins, and I believe this card showed up for Virgos. I believe it showed up for Virgos as well. So I definitely feel that in terms of love relationship, you are going to get some type of reciprocity, okay? And if you are interested in a water sign, I definitely feel some type of, mutual, very strong attraction coming through. You're also going to be able to overcome this past situation where you're dealing with indiscretion, you're dealing with lies, infidelities, and things like that, in order to restore your self-esteem and to realize that you do have a lot to offer and you are a very desirable dating candidate, okay? This is more of your energy, or it can be another earth sign coming through. So another Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn in your midst. I definitely feel we have the Justice card, and the Justice indicates the universe righting a situation. Okay, so this is divine intervention coming in where karma is being restored. So whatever it is, it's going to pan out very beautifully in your favor. If someone has been doing something wrong to you, I feel that the karma is coming back to haunt them. All right. If likewise, I don't feel this is a lot for you where you're the one juggling two things or two people or dealing with any type of indiscretion, but I do feel that the act of it's like divine intervention. It is something coming in to help you in order to right the balance, to right the karmic scales of the universe. So something is being restored, and even a confrontation is not even necessary. So you are going to get the favorable outcome that you want. And I feel that with the Justice card, justice is blind. So justice will steer towards, balancing karma, towards balancing, fixing imbalances in the universe. So it's blind. It doesn't see who's right or who's wrong. It just steers in the direction that is necessary to correct a situation. And I do feel that you are going to be quite happy with the outcome. I feel that you're going to be very, very, you're going to be very supported by your environment. You are going to be very supported by the universe as well. For those of you who are single and looking, I do feel that people are going to flock to you, okay? If you are getting out there to date, this is a very good month to do that. And I do feel, air